applause from the crowd. Now she spent the on a bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on a deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 220 of Phired Up Sports. Check us out at phiredupsports.com. I'm Mike DeLoto. Joining me as always, Mark Ramos. What's going on, Mark?
Not much, man. Little different tonight, right? Little Fired Up Sports podcast special. Wednesday night, not our usual Tuesday night. But
Yes. You were in the press box for quite the atmosphere Tuesday night at the Xfinity Mobile Arena with the Flyers and Ducks. And we'll talk about that later on in the show. But it was a great night. It's almost a shame that they don't play the Ducks more often at this point. Like it's turned into a legit rival. Before we obviously we have big playoffs coming up for the Eagles, and hopefully they can go on some sort of run, and we'll talk about that. But I texted you earlier to let you know I was going to ask you about this. I saw your wife's Facebook post earlier in the week or last week. I forget when it was. I think it was later last week.
Yeah.
About you, she got you in on the Stranger Things thing.
Yeah.
So how far are you in? What's your vibe so far? Do you like it? I'm curious your thoughts so far.
Yeah. So I'm about 5 episodes into season 1, and it's a real I really enjoy it. Right, the characters are very, very endearing. I know my wife is very into Steve Harrington and all this like the characters, right? The characters themselves, and I've seen clips of recent the most recent.
Stop doing that. Don't do that.
Yeah. I've seen the characters, and to see them so young, in the beginning is pretty jarring, but it's good. I enjoy it. And I really had no expectations. I came in completely clean slate, had no real preconceived notions about the show or anything. So, but I like it. I like it so far. I'm up. We're about around the part where.
See, this is the thing. Like season 1 was literally 10 years ago. So I vaguely remember what happens, but I probably I'm trying to think of what season 5 what would have happened. So where are you at? I'm curious.
Yeah, so we're up to the part. Will has gone missing.
Okay.
And the boys are with 11. They're trying to find out a way to get to the Upside Down.
Okay.
And Nancy and all, the last episode that I watched, she ended up there because she was out in the woods with Will's brother. I can't remember his name. And so that's where I'm up. That's the part I'm up to right now. And but it's been really good. It kind of right away kind of sucks you in. If you go back and watch it, it kind of right away it's you're into you're right into the story, so
and even not even the story. I mean, the story is obviously really, really great, but what they do a really good job at is the nostalgia factor of it feels like the 80s. I think they did a really good job of capturing the time frame that it was taking place. Obviously neither of us were alive in the 80s, but that's what I imagine the 80s being like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gives you really a sense of the time. I love when shows do that. I like the even the entrance to the show, the signature to start the show when they drop you off with the chapter, the way it kind of comes in and all. It feels very
Stephen King-ish,
horror, 80s kind of feel to it. So it's cool though. I'm digging it so far. So I'm hoping to watch some more coming up here. I have a busy next couple weeks, but I'm going to try to get some episodes in and get through season 1, and then I'll have more to talk about.
You say maybe once a month I'll have to do an update. Yeah, just check in, see where you're at.
Yeah. So I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, definitely. No, it gets good. I mean, it's funny. I'm sure you've seen The whole like fake ending that people thought was a fake ending that like apparently tonight there was supposed to be some sort of like extra secret ninth episode of the season, but it didn't happen. Obviously,
Yeah.
Those are silly rumors. But if you knew the story and you knew all the holes because that were in season 5 and like some of the things that like tied in together, like I get why people drew that conclusion, but it seems like a crazy kind of place to go. But
Right.
all right, so we can move on then. We have obviously big Eagles game, Eagles in the playoffs against the Niners. And this game like is weird to me, and we can talk a little bit about the Washington game, but like last week when we talked about it, the where it's like, well, do you try to go get the number 2 seed so you can play the Packers, or do you rest your starters? Rest is more important for your main guys. They obviously chose that route. It's a little bit of like a weird taste in your mouth when the Bears end up losing and like you could have had that 2 seed.
Right.
If you play your starters, because like I mean, McKee, when we talked about like I want to see Tanner McKee, let's see what he's got. Did not look great. I'll be honest, did not look great in that Washington game.
No, he didn't. And although he almost hit the. We said last week I was like, I might take the over on the 250 yards. He didn't end up hitting 250. Yeah. He was close, but
he was close. Yeah.
Yep. He didn't end up getting it. But no, it wasn't a great game for him. And I mean, like those are all the kind of like we kind of gone back and forth about whether or not, that was the right thing to do or not. And like you said, it kind of feels like it makes it feel it's more strange now because the Bears did lose their game and they played a lot of their guys.
Yep.
So that was kind of like a downfall of the kind of just how the chips fell, for this. But at the same time, I think like when you're the Eagles, you're in a position, especially coming off a season like last year, you're kind of looking at it probably as if seeding. Like I don't think they're really going to be like nobody's ever going to turn around and be like, oh well, we blew it. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be they're going to approach it like, oh, you got to prepare the same way for no matter who you play, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, in order to get to the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl, you're going to have to play good teams. Like, it's just you just have to. So,
yeah. Right.
Although like a game plan of you have Tanner McKee, obviously, who's not we think he has a pretty decent upside, but like not a ton of experience. I think it's inexcusable to throw the ball 40 times. So I think coaching really let them down in this game, and unfortunately, I think we've been talking about it all season. I think it's just going to hold them back, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a really that was a really interesting thing that came out of that game. Was the Eagles didn't play their starters, and while McKee didn't look good, there was still kind of like the offense still kind of had this like stagnation to it, and it was the second unit as opposed to the first, right? So, but as you said, we've kind of seen similar issues with this offense all year. So that to me looks like definitely play calling and not so much execution. That was an interesting part of it that came out of this game against Washington for sure. So I mean, I look at some of the things they can do against the Niners, and this should be a really good test, I think, for the Eagles as a first round matchup. Like the Niners are good enough, I think, where this is the type of game that if you can win it in the playoffs, it could kind of maybe give you some momentum to hit, round 2 and beyond, because you played a good team already, so.
Yeah. And we talked, do you want to, again, back to like trying to win that game or resting starters because you want to try to play the Packers or the Niners. It's like, well, the Niners on paper when they're fully healthy, sure, they're definitely a harder test than the Packers, but the Niners are beat up,
Yeah.
especially on the defensive side of the ball. They're beat up. So it's a matter of if the Eagles can just take advantage of that. Like that's
Right.
and we the Eagles. We talk about the inconsistencies in offense, and at large portions of games they're not a threat. But it's at this point right now you got to figure it out. You have to against this Niners defense with how banged up they are. There's no excuse for this offense this week.
Yeah, and I look at it too, like I think it's actually not a bad matchup in terms of for the Eagles, like the Eagles defense versus the Niners offense. I was reading some things earlier today, and I know like obviously, right, like their entire system is built around Christian McCaffrey,
Mm-hmm.
um, who catches the ball out of the backfield and as opposed to carrying the ball. So with a lot of those running back screens and all that other stuff that they like to do with him, get the ball in his hands in open space, you got to have good linebackers, right? And the Eagles definitely have that. And same thing with their offensive line that I know is got some talent on it, but is a little bit on the smaller side from what I understand. So if the Eagles can kind of dial up some pressure, we know Purdy is a good quarterback, but he can turn the ball over. So you get a little bit of pressure on him. You can dial up some pressure. Maybe you can force them into some bad decisions. So I think, hopefully that is, I think this defense will again be the strength, but of like the backbone of this game for the Eagles, provided they win it. And but yeah, I mean the offense has to come around to some degree in this game because the Niners do have enough talent that
Sure.
they can certainly come in here and steal one.
Yeah,
So
and you, I mean, you do talk about like Purdy's like turnovers and all that, but like he also has the ability. We saw it a couple weeks ago. He has the ability to go out there and just ball out too. Like
yeah,
it's a lot less consistent than you would like. If that's your quarterback, but at the same time, he can do it. Like he can make really good plays back there.
yeah, you can, and you know, so that's I think all the more reason the Eagles can kind of use some of their size and power at the line of scrimmage, that defensive line and stuff, put some pressure on him. Maybe you can force him into some of those bad decisions,
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, so to some degree, as much as you can, you're gonna have to try to put a lid on McCaffrey as much as you can. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
definitely.
We'll see how that goes. But coming into this game, right? Like it's not like you try to game plan for everybody, right? But like there's like also the idea as well that like there's some guys more likely to go off than others, and yeah. So maybe you want to sell out, try to get McCaffrey in check, and take your chances with everybody else, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that is true, but I mean, you listen. I feel like a lot of the Niners guys are kind of licking their chops for this game. I feel like a lot of them want revenge on the Eagles. That whole thing. So, yeah, it's listen. Full disclosure, like we're on the trust tree here. I don't feel confident about this game. I just don't.
Yeah, I I don't know, like it. I have a weird feeling coming into this game. Like I feel like they should win this. I feel like this is a game they should win. Uh,
Should
but
yes, should I agree, but I just again we've been talking about it all year is like I just have zero confidence in this coaching staff. Zero.
yeah, I have a. I think they're gonna win, but I just I understand where you're coming from because I do kind of feel it a little bit with this game, and like we saw, like you mentioned, it was a couple weeks ago that Niners. I think you were referring to the Niners and Bears game where nobody played,
That was the game. Yeah. Yep. That was the game.
where the offenses were just incredible and nobody could get a stop and all that. So this might be an offensive unit coming in here that really feels like they're starting to figure things out. And uh, as we said, like the Eagles' offense has not done a great job of alleviating pressure for this defense. This defense has been put in some tough spots and have navigated it well.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, um, how many times can you go to the well? You know, especially in the playoffs. So and you're going to have to score some points, like, and they can't have this, where we've seen where like maybe they come out really strong and then for 2 quarters, like we punt 5-6 straight times. That can't happen in this game, you know. So,
Like,
but
I don't think they're losing, or I don't think they're winning like a 16-13 game. Like, I just don't like. They're gonna have to score.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see. But like you said, I mean, like the Niners have some they're nicked up on defense, and maybe there's maybe that makes it a little bit easier to put up some points. But
Especially like their linebackers are kind of banged up right now. Their running game, or they haven't been great at stopping the run recently. So maybe try to exploit that, and you try something out with Barkley, see if he can get it going, and if not, like Bigsby has something. Like I'm not saying Bigsby's gonna be the number one guy because you paid Saquon money. He's your number one. Like I get that, but I need to see more carries from Bigsby if he's the one that has more success running the football.
yeah, yeah. I don't have any. He was good against Washington
Mm-hmm.
the last week of the season. I think he rushed for over 70. I think he had
Mm-hmm. And he
on
didn't have a single rush in like the first in the last, I think, quarter and a half or something like that. So
yeah. So he was good, and he's been good in limited time. So I don't see any reason why in this playoff run, you kind of uh, at the end of the day you should go with the hot hand. You know what I mean? And
but
if
I'm sure he'll have one carry. Shipley will have two, and then they'll throw the ball 75 times.
that feels like the script this year.
I'm so out on Will Shipley. I don't need Shipley anywhere near my football team.
Yeah, he gets pretty steady time too.
Yeah.
Will Shipley.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean we'll see. But I don't know why he hasn't been used a little bit more. Bigsby. So
Yeah, I just think that they, that Saquon's, the guy that rushed over 2,000 yards last year, he's their guy, and I think they're just afraid to. I don't know if it's like hurt feelings or to piss him off, or I don't know what the reason is, but they're so hard fast on just feeding him carries. And listen, he was fantastic last year. I mean, that's not a debate, but clearly he's something's different this year. I don't know if it's like he lost a step or he's not seeing it as well as he did last year, but Bigsby just ran better this year. I'm not saying Bigsby's a better player. I'm not saying that that he should be the number one guy. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
But he's got to get some more work.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean they brought him in, right? Like at least get him on the field in like some like maybe with like packages where like him and Barkley are both out there, or some underneath things because we know he can catch the ball. Bigsby can catch the ball a little bit. Get him involved in some capacity. I think would be fine. And it would give them a different dimension offensively too. So
Sure, yeah. Exactly. Or you run something like, again, I'm asking the coach of my Philadelphia Eagles to be creative. You could have both of them in the backfield. Fakely, you're going to Barkley, some sort of end around the Bigsby. Like you have them both on the field if you want. Like just do some creative shit. They don't do creative shit.
Yeah, and they have the weapons to do that.
Yep.
Like that's what I think people that who kind of share our thought process with this. That's kind of their philosophy as well, as like they do have have like weapons. We've seen it. Obviously they're a championship caliber football team, or at least have a lot of championship caliber remnants left over from last year's team. Like they should be able to kind of dial up some things here, and maybe they'll do that. I mean, maybe we'll see them go a little bit deeper into the playbook, in this game. But because they got to have some looks here.
I mean, if you don't do it now, you're never going to. It's playoffs. This is when you do it.
Yeah, I mean, Quinn ran. Was it Joe Johnson played for Washington this past week?
Josh Johnson, I think.
Josh Johnson.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
And they ran a flea flicker at one point. It was a total disaster. But
yes, that's the running back slipped, right? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, he slipped and he couldn't get enough on the ball and to throw it back to Johnson. But yeah, I mean, they're doing that, and they're a 4-win football team on the last week of the season. So,
yeah, true.
But we should be able to I'm not saying pull out a flea flicker on the first drive or something like that. I'm not saying do that, but
I'm not saying not do it.
Yeah, maybe some wildcat packages have Barkley lined up under center or something.
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
because at least it'd be different shit. Right now, we know the script. It's run up the middle first down, run up the middle second down, throw it deep on third down, punt. That's the formula, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
a flea flicker on first down would definitely change that.
And now, I mean, too, there's supposed to be. Last I checked, the weather is not supposed to be great on Sunday. I think there's lots of rain in the forecast.
Is there rain? I know it's supposed to. The weather's supposed to be the temperature's supposed to be mild.
Yeah.
Yeah, 59 is the high, 80% chance of rain. What I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, so that's just what they would need to have this be
Mm-hmm.
Be this a mess out there on the field. The field be a mess rather, and then, but who knows? We're talking about this offense. Maybe this offense is a better slop horse race, right?
You luck out and a cornerback slips and falls, and hey, there you go.
Yeah, we saw Josh Allen sail one out.
True.
Buffalo in bad weather, so maybe the Eagles just do better in bad weather. I mean, that could be possible too.
Yeah, for sure. You got anything else with this game or the last game you want to talk about before we kind of move on to wild card weekend?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I think the best they could do, try to get CMC under control early and take your chances with other guys and get to Purdy. Put some pressure on Purdy. I think that's a key.
The other one thing I had about the Washington game was another guy that I want cut and sent to Mars. What the fuck is Kaylee Ringham doing on that touchdown play?
Yeah, that was bad. I don't think
no answers. Yeah, I'm speechless. He had the perfect opportunity to go make a tackle and just turns around and runs the other way. It was almost you talk about the the big. The betting scandal in the NBA, a guy's throwing that's literally what it looked like. He had an anytime touchdown bet for Johnson. That's what it looked like. He's like, all right, go ahead, have it. Why not?
Yeah. Even if someone's behind you and they're yelling, they're trying. Yeah,
I'd rather him make the throw instead of just letting him walk into the end zone.
Right. No, I'm not saying it was But I mean, even if someone's behind you and they're kind of calling for the ball or whatever, and Johnson's eyes look up or whatever the case is, you don't turn your back to the guy that's carrying the football like he did. I mean, it was pretty egregious that way.
Yeah.
So that was a bad look. That was a bad look for sure.
Yeah. Certainly is.
And even I thought. Even beyond that play, I didn't think he was particularly good in that game. So I don't think he played particularly well. So
definitely not.
But that stuck out.
Yeah. Oh, it certainly did because it, it ended up in a touchdown for the other team.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on to wild card weekend. So I guess how we could kind of do this is, so I'll just go down. We could go game by game and kind of break down each game.
Okay.
And see maybe who we think win all that, and then after that we can kind of do our regular against the spread picks.
Okay.
If you're fine with just breaking it down that way.
Yeah, we can do
Let me
that.
pull up the schedule. So the first game, the Rams and the Panthers. Panthers, I think, are just happy to be there at this point.
Yeah.
I think the Rams, although not perfect, I don't think anybody's perfect in this league this year. Not perfect. I think the Rams are much better than the Panthers. I think it's pretty easy or Rams victory.
Yeah, I think they're going to roll in this game. Like you said, I think Carolina's just happy to be there. They kind of backed into that spot. And, I agree. No one's perfect in the league this year. It feels like even the better teams have their own. A lot of them feel like they have fatal flaws. You know what I mean? Like, and that makes it kind of interesting and kind of uncomfortable, edge of your seat type of thing. But yeah, I think this Rams team's about a rung or two above this Panthers team. So yeah, they're gonna roll in this game, I think. So I agree with you on that.
Then the next game is interesting. Packers Bears. I don't really even know where to go. Like I'm a notorious Bears hater. I've been all season. But I also don't think the Packers are great. We've, as a collective podcast, have shit on the Packers all season as well.
Yeah, we've been hard on the Packers.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think this is really just a toss-up kind of game.
Yeah,
and as I'm thinking it now, and again, as much as I dislike the Bears, I don't think they're all that good. I think the Bears might win.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of surprised, given the year they've had, that they opened up like they're the underdogs in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really I understand someone had to be right, but the Packers have been kind of they're another team.
Too.
What was that?
Home underdogs too.
Yeah, home underdogs. I was surprised by that. And that's another game. Like they're expecting bad weather. I think they're expecting quite a bit of snow in Chicago this weekend.
That should be fun.
So not that if one it's like matching up. It's like if one team can kind of that not affect it would be Green Bay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With how cold it gets out there. So, but yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that, but I think I got the Bears winning that game. I think. I wonder
if it has something to do with the fact that they, a win clinched the 2 seed. They played all their players against the Lions. Lions out of the playoffs, and the Bears lost, laid an egg, didn't look great. Yeah. I wonder if that has something to do with what the spread is in this game.
Yeah. I mean, that could definitely have something to do with it.
The Bears' offense, I think, is also banged up. Is DJ Moore playing? What's his status?
I'm not sure. If he's playing.
Did he play last game? I don't remember.
Yeah, I know they didn't have a Dunze. Dunze's been out, I think, or maybe he did play the last week of the season or the last game. I don't know, but yeah, I think they are bagged up.
You have quite the list. Gardner Johnson did not practice. This would have been today's Wednesday. Right? Yeah, this was Wednesday. Gardner Johnson did not practice. Grady Jarrett did not practice. Trying to see if any of their big names. DJ Moore was a limited practice. Odunze was also a limited practice. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah. So those are big pieces, but I think Love is back for this, right? Love's going to play this.
He's not. Game. He's not listed on the injury report, so yeah, Love is back.
So he'll be back, but he hasn't played, And then again, the weather being bad and all that. I mean, that seems like a really tough game to come back, especially when you haven't played for the last couple of weeks, and then you're playing in the snow too. Could be tough. So I think I'd be more comfortable with the Bears, taking the Bears. So I was surprised by them being the home underdogs, but
yeah. Moving on to the next one. This spread also was kind of weird. The Bills and the Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to just. And he hasn't had the greatest success in the playoffs, but it's still Josh Allen, so I take the Bears. I'm sorry, not the Bears, the Bills.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I want to like Jacksonville. I want to.
Nobody wants to like Jacksonville.
They're kind of cool. They're kind of cool.
What's cool about Jacksonville?
Like they say Duval. Trevor Lawrence is he's kind of a cool dude. You see, he let some chick squat him in a bar or something like that this other weekend.
No, I did not.
Yeah, she put him on his shoulders and all, and he just was like about it. He was like, "Yeah, sure."
Okay.
Like that's a kind of that's a hometown quarterback right there.
Sure. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm with you. I think Buffalo wins that game. But I want to like the Jags. I want. I would like to see like them have some success because they don't have the Jaguars haven't had much success. But
yeah, I want to see anybody from that division have success. Like that division has been terrible for a long time. Obviously, after the days of Peyton Manning in Indianapolis, like that division's been dreadful.
Yeah, it has been. So. It has been, and yeah, it kind of like the AFC in general kind of feels a little bit wide open to me. Like, just by the fact that like like there's no Kansas City like this year.
No,
and
say like that. It could be either you could either look at it as a bad thing because there's no great team and there's no elite team, but you could also look at it the other side. It's of like parity and everybody has a chance to win, and so like there's different arguments to whether it's a good thing that the teams are quote unquote bad, or there's no great teams. Like I think it works both ways.
Yeah, it does, and I think it's hard to not go with like Josh might be the best QB in the playoffs, just like in general, like so.
Yeah, I would say so.
So it's kind of like it's hard for me to kind of like bet against them, even though they haven't done it, But like this feels like a year where it could like I don't think that I know New England's had a great year, but like. I don't know that they're really all that much better than Buffalo.
You got to prove something to me. Like, like it was the first year where they kind of came out, won a lot of games, but like, and you play who's on your schedule, but they really haven't beat anybody that impressive all season.
Right.
But again, that goes back to the NFL isn't good argument. Like, there's just nobody's. If you played an entire 17-game season and I can't pick one win that's like an impressive win, and you won 14 games or whatever they won, it's a bad league. Like it's a bad year for that league.
Yeah. So I like Buffalo too for this game, and I think they could very well. I look at that AFC and I think like there's really no reason they shouldn't come out of the AFC this year.
I hope so because I mean I think Josh Allen is a really easy guy to root for and has had virtually no postseason success. So I'd like to see it happen.
Yeah, me too. I would like that too. So.
All right, so then moving on to the 4:30 Sunday game. That's the Eagles-Niners. We talked about it a little bit. I'm not confident. You're not going to like my answer. I have the Niners.
All right. Okay.
Yep. I have the Niners.
I'm gonna take the Eagles in this game. I think for the reasons we mentioned, I if it comes down to the defense again, I think that they'll pull it out. I don't know. For all we talked about earlier in the show, I'm not sure what we're going to get from the offense. Hopefully it's not, which is such a weird feeling to have about it, but it's like, I hope they're like poor stretch in this game. If it has to happen, it isn't for too long. That's kind of how I'm looking at the offense.
That's fair too. That's definitely fair. It's like we talked about earlier with the injuries and they're banged up, and the Eagles have the better seed. Everything's going in the Eagles' favor, which also kind of makes me nervous. Like anytime things seem either too good to be true or that way of thinking, usually just just shit. It just doesn't work out well in the end. But sorry, there was a loud bang in my house, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell just happened. And it really threw me off. I don't know. It could have been my kids. I don't know. But it sounded like Sounded like my ceiling was going to collapse.
Oh no.
So I forget where. But yeah, all that to say, I unfortunately have the Niners. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like too. I think the Eagles are a team too, like where to kind of like take like a more positive slant on it. Like they're a team they know how to win. You know what I mean? Like
Sure. Yep.
winning ugly is still winning, and it was like, and I think that comes with that championship pedigree where you just kind of like you figure out ways, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I think teams that have won titles before in the past, they just have a better idea of how to navigate. You know, when you know when the stuff hits the fan, they kind of know how to navigate it or get enough out of the game or out of their top players, just enough to get to the finish line. And um, you know, I do think that counts for something. We'll see how much it really does count for if it comes down to it on Sunday. But I do think that has something to do with it for
Yeah,
sure.
and as much as I or we or the city's criticized Jalen Hurts' play in the past, present, and we will in the future. That's the one thing about Jalen Hurts is he wins. He's won everywhere he's been. He knows how to win. It
Yeah,
might not, like you said, it might not always look pretty. He might, make a couple weird plays, and he might throw an interception, and he might not have the sexy 350 for 4 touchdown day. Like those things won't happen, probably not. But like he does find ways to win.
yeah, he does. He does, and I think we've seen that even at the behest of his own, you know, his own numbers, his individual
Hmm.
accolades. I mean, have or his you know how the league or how other fan bases their perception of him is colored by the numbers and things like that. But anybody that watches him, I think closely, or he's on their favorite team, they know that he's got that unshakable mental toughness, and he knows how to get it done in big moments. So
I guess that is the good thing about Tanner McKee not playing great against Washington is now like all off season. I'm not gonna have to hear about a quarterback controversy. I'm not gonna have to hear about trade Jalen Hurts because Tanner McKee threw for 300 yards against this shitty Commanders team in Week 18.
I that that's just a bit, right? Because I've heard people say that.
No, I don't think it is. No, I don't think it is. I think
I
it's
I
legitimate.
was like, there's not. If you feel like that out there, please write us. I would like to hear your philosophy on that or why
Yeah.
you feel that way. I mean that I know I've heard so many people say that, like
Yep.
not just you, and it was
Yep.
just like I'm like
No,
people really.
I don't think it's a bit at all. I think it's 100% serious.
Oh, I
We
mean,
love a quarterback
come
controversy here, and people think, well, they got rid of Wentz kind of at the perfect time, or like right after you pay him. So like Hurts is kind of the next set of that, where you pay him the money, it doesn't work out, you move on to the next guy. Like
yeah,
we love a quarterback controversy here.
and I
Love it.
mean like in the Wentz situation, I mean they they were right about that.
Sure, yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like the Eagles were right to do that,
Hmm.
given and the fact that he never really caught on anywhere else,
Hmm.
and is now kind of in a backup role. Uh, I think would indicate that they were right about that. You
Yeah.
know, so uh, you know, but I don't know. But yeah, I like. I'm gonna take the Eagles. I do respect your answer for
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm
yeah
wrong.
taking the Niners, but
So that moves us to the Sunday night game, Chargers at Patriots. We talked a little bit about the Patriots. Chargers, it's opportunity number 7,000 for Justin Herbert to prove that he's a winner or that he can do anything else other than just put up fancy stats. Um, Drake May is up there in MVP talks. He's probably the first or second favorite to win the MVP award. Um, give me I'll take the Patriots in this one.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Pats. I never really feel all that comfortable. Like you said, like the Chargers always seem like a team that's kind of around it, but never quite like kind of the old always the bridesmaid, never the bride kind of
Yep.
thing. They're kind of like always kind of around, but they're like the Patriots have had a great year too, as much as it pains me to say it. And Drake May is looks like the real deal. So I think New England's going to win that game.
And that moves us to the Monday night game, which I've said this the last handful of years. I hate that they do a Monday night playoff game. I think it's so dumb. But I'm sure it's a benefit for them financially for whatever reason. But I don't know how, because if you just put that game on Saturday, people are just the same people that watch that game on Monday are also going to watch it on Saturday. Like,
right?
I don't know. I also think it's like an unfair advantage for the team they're playing in the next rounds. One less day of rest, one less day of prep, and all that stuff. But I hate to do that. They do that game. But anyway, Monday night, Texans at Steelers. Texans are road favorites in this one. There's a lot of road favorites. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Four of the 6 games, the road team is the favorite.
See, that's interesting too, because I saw stats about it's been a while since a road team has won in a wild card game. Mm-hmm. I think it was it's been a couple years since a road wild card team's come out with a win. So
4 of the 6 are road favorites. So Texans, like I said, 3-point favorites in Pittsburgh. And listen, the Pittsburgh is lucky to be there without a missed field goal.
Yeah,
they're not in the playoffs, and John Harbaugh doesn't get fired. That could have been Mike Tomlin probably if that kicker just makes that field goal. I'm taking the Texans in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you too. This game has not only is it Monday night, but I feel like it has for a wild card game too. It has the potential to be a snooze fest.
Definitely. Without doubt, yeah.
With the way both teams play, and is Metcalf back for this? Did he serve his suspension for
that happened
week that fan or whatever he did?
That happened week 16 or 17. I don't remember.
Yeah, which I don't know that we didn't have any real reason to bring it up, but what a asinine decision on his part.
We talked about it, I think, briefly, but we didn't really get into it.
What an idiot!
Yes, yeah.
That late in the year.
Yep.
For a team fighting for a playoff spot,
these football players are morons. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. And I don't know what being a wide receiver does to a man in Pittsburgh, but they all seem to lose their minds.
That's the thing is, do you have to be a lunatic to play wide receiver, or does playing wide receiver make you a lunatic? It's a chicken or the egg kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good philosophical question. I don't know the answer to that, but it definitely feels. and Pittsburgh seems to find them.
Sure, definitely
find those guys. I don't know. That was a ridiculous decision on his part. I don't care what was said to him. I mean, I'm sure they hear all kinds of vile things yelled at them.
Right? Yeah. Just tune it out.
Yeah.
But apparently, it was the same. A guy that he had problems with before, and all the guy did was call him his government name. Which if that sets you off, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta have a little thicker skin than that.
And he's following him. This guy's he just follows.
I don't remember I don't know if it was more than twice, but I know there was another instance of this guy in another game when he was playing in Seattle. I'm sorry, when he was with Seattle and he was playing a game at Detroit. I think a season or two before that. Apparently, this fan was fucking with him then too.
Oh my god, what are the odds?
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
Yep.
What a ridiculous story. Yeah, I think I like the Texans too. I agree with you. I think Pittsburgh's lucky to be there. They're a weird team too. Pittsburgh, I don't really see it there. And the Texans have kind of they've proven to be a better team than I thought they'd be this year. Especially as the season kind of wore on, they started playing a lot better.
Yeah.
So Houston I think is the play there. So
All right, so real quick, let's do our against the spread picks.
Yeah.
So I have we did talk about the Rams and the blowout that it could be. I'm actually taking the Panthers plus 10.5. It's a lot of points, so as long as they keep it within 10.5, it's a W. They just don't get destroyed, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
I got the Bills minus 1.5 against the Jags. I already said that I like the Niners straight up, so I'll take the 4.5 points as well. Niners plus 4.5. Then I have the Rams, Panthers over 46.5. Then I have the Bills and Jaguars under 51.5.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So mine's are I have the Bears at plus 1.5 over the Packers for the reasons we mentioned. I was kind of surprised to see the road or the home underdog. So I'll take the Bears for that. I have the Bills at minus 1.5 as well. Got the Pats over the Chargers at minus 3.5. And then for the over unders, I have Steelers Texans over 39.5 and Rams Panthers under 46.5.
Yeah, you were talking about like the snooze fest possibility of the Steelers Texans game, and like that over under tells you all you need to know about that snooze fest.
Yep, exactly. So
what was the second one? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
I also have the Rams and Panthers, but I'm taking the under for
Okay.
Rams. There's 46.5.
All right. All right, so let's move on. I know we do want to talk of a little Flyers, but before we talk about that, a little bit of Phillies potential news, rumors. Who knows?
Yeah.
The stove's never all that hot this year. I feel like, but here we go. Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily. Well, hold on. What's going on, man?
Well, I did hear you, but I don't hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Can you?
Good now. Yep. Oh, it went out.
Oh my God. What's going on? Hello. Good.
Yep, you're good. You're good.
All right. I won't. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Don't touch it. So Bo Bichette, I don't know necessarily where he fits, but he's a guy that can hit the ball, and I don't. I'd be totally fine with it. You figure out where he plays later.
Yeah, that's pretty much my my feeling on that. Definitely want to add Bichette. It's really really rare. I feel like he's 27, like, and there's just like not many 27-year-olds hitting the market anymore. So like he's younger, like very much in his prime. Like it's hard to like get a guy in a situation like that. And yeah, I kind of feel like figure it out later, like you said, acquire the talent now, because he'll be a big boost offensively. Even his defensive play, I think, is pretty good. I think the defensive metrics are there for Bichette. So when the mic's out again, yeah.
How about hello? Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good now. It's happening again here. Yeah.
That. How about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
For now, you can hear me.
For now.
For now, right now, you can hear me.
Yes.
I didn't even touch it that time, so I don't know what just gravity just did its thing.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
But he's a guy that's not gonna like pop a lot of home runs. He's probably gonna be around that 20 home run range. But last year he had 311, almost 100 RBIs. Like it's a level of offense that the lineup needs.
Yeah.
And then I think you could there would have to be a corresponding move. So you would either put Bo Bichette at either probably second or short. If you put him at short, you move Trey to second.
Right.
And then Stott honestly probably becomes expendable. Like you move Stott, or you could move one of the three, Stott, Turner, Bichette to third base, and trade Bohm.
Yeah. I think I like the first scenario better I think for the Phillies, just because at least at least like Bohm's like that's his primary position. He
Mm.
primarily plays third. And I don't think anybody's numbers defensively really kind of whether you're talking about Bichette, Turner, or if they were to like experiment with Stott at third, like nobody's defensive metrics are strong enough to where like I would feel comfortable there. You know, you're getting a lot offensively, but there's going to be some drawback where it's like I think you want to like minimize that as much as you can. So I would imagine Stott would be the guy. Then that would be expendable. I also don't think what does that mean for JT, right? Like he's probably not back at that point. He probably moves on. So because I don't know what the point of contention at this point is for him. I think last we heard it was the years, like they were kind of there's a quabble over the years kind of thing.
Did you hear what they want versus what he wants, or you just heard more vague than that, just years?
No, I just heard the years. Like
yeah. I'm curious what he would want. Like a guy at that age with that position and knees, things like that. Like I don't want to give him more than like 2.
Right.
Like 3, I guess. Squeeze my arm. Maybe I could convince the 3 if the number's right. But like, I'm never going past 3. I like 2 to 3 kind of is where I'm going.
Yeah, that was kind of my. That's kind of like the Christian Dvorak theory.
Yeah.
It was kind of like max 3 years. Max. I can't go further than that. So yeah, and I mean like that might actually like I think that would actually work out better though if the Phillies were somehow to land Bichette. You could kind of nickel and dime it at catcher. I think Rafael Marchand's probably still in the mix, right? And you can kind of like platoon it.
Still not ideal.
No, it's not. But I think like if you can find somebody and they can give you good defense behind the plate and can call a good game. Yeah, he's not JT, but I think you're getting, I feel like with the Bichette edition, you're getting the offense and then some, in Bichette. Like the trade-off's worth it, I feel, in that regard, where it's like you're not really going to miss it.
Yeah.
Because Bichette's going to carry a lot of that offensive load even more so than JT at this point. So yeah, I mean, when I heard that, I wasn't really sure. The fit seemed strange, but I was all about it.
Right.
Like, I was all in on them signing off on that and start taking some hacks here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you any chance you have to bring in talent like that, you do it, and you worry about the logistics later.
Yeah, and I mean, you're very much in an arms race, right? Like you're going to have to eventually go through LA, it looks like, right? So, and you're going to have to find a way to do that. And like free agency in baseball, I mean, like, and you're in a big market, you're in Philadelphia, like that's one way to do it. I know that they already have money locked up, but how bad do you want it, kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like you got to keep up.
Yep.
So,
and you might as well do it this year because there won't be baseball next year. So, all right, we can move on then. So I believe the Dvorak stuff, the contract happened after our last show, right? We haven't talked about it yet, have we?
We have not talked about it. We texted about it.
We did angrily.
Yeah, we'll keep that between us.
Yeah. 5 years by 5. What was it? $5.15 million per year. Yeah. Just an absolute insane contract, if you ask me, for like a career third line player. I know he's had a good season. It's a career year, but I just don't think it's necessary. Like I don't think they had it seemed like the Flyers got outbid by themselves. Like they outbid themselves here. They were in a bidding war with themselves because the whole thing was it's the 3 years. Apparently that was in contention, and then all of a sudden it comes out 5 years, over $5 million per year, no trade clauses involved. Why? There's no need.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I like Christian Dvorak. I think Christian Dvorak's a useful player, uh, but I think you're right. Like in terms of like bidding against themselves, when you look at the free agent market and how that's kind of shaped up in the NHL for this summer, uh, it, it's going to be a barren wasteland,
Yeah,
right? And the Flyers, as I think probably a lot of teams were kind of circling this summer, uh, a couple of seasons ago, as like, hey, like there's some like big marquee names going to be available. Of course, everybody resigns,
mm-hmm.
and then it leaves like next to nobody available. So then, like I think like the top center as of today, the top center headed to market in July will be Nick Schmaltz
It's not
from
great.
from Utah.
Yeah,
Decent. He's
fine. Yeah,
yeah, he's got a little bit of talent, but like, are you talking about like a guy like he's gonna probably take advantage of the market in a big way because he'll be the best player available out there.
I just my also big problem with it is that with his contract is like you look at like the good team like. Has he had a good season? Yes, I like him. Yes, he's useful. Yes, all those things are true. But he's also a player that's like gotten a lot of opportunity because there's just not a lot of bodies in the Flyers offense still isn't great. Whereas like if you want to be a Stanley Cup contender, and I know they're winning a lot of games, they're playing well. I still don't look at them like a Stanley Cup contender.
Yeah,
But if you are a Stanley Cup contender, he's on like your third or fourth line. He's not a top six player. Like if you put him on the last year's Florida Panthers, he might be their 4C. What 4C is getting paid over $5 million a year?
yeah, yeah. It's I agree with that. I definitely think that's true. It's a situation kind of like it was very situational. I think for uh, Dvorak. It also kind of looks at like you kind of look at how the rebuild's kind of shaped up to this point, and as you said, like the Flyers are a team in a good position. I don't think any of us are complaining about that. We all love winning games. I would love nothing more. I was down there covering the game last night. I would love nothing more than there to be a playoff game this year, opportunity to cover it for us at Fired Up. Like, whatever the case is, I would love for that to happen. This team and this city deserves that. But at the same time, it's like this team still kind of has pretty clear deficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to need to address those at one time or another, like whether it's through paying, like you're going to have to make a big swing in a trade or find another Zegras trade that kind of comes along, that kind of deal where talented player, very obviously talented player, just falls out of favor somewhere and they're just willing to offload him. That's less likely than some of the other scenarios that could play out.
And involves more luck too.
Right, more luck. So that's like one of those situations where that's all a part of I think people's frustrations with Dvorak's contract situation, because I really don't think it's about the player at all.
No,
like it's about the situation that the player's in. And what it says about the team building philosophy. And of course, like the World Junior Tournament just ended, the World Junior Classic Tournament. Flyers had some names out there: Martone, Lachenko, Berglund, Ruinen. Like they have some prospects. Jack Berglund had a great tournament, center prospect. But we're talking about guys that are kind of more projects than we like, other than Martone, right? Martone's probably going to be in the NHL next year, but
you might see him for a game or two this year
at the end of the year. Yeah. So,
or if they do make playoffs, maybe a handful of games you'll see. Maybe he'll get playoff time. Who knows?
Yeah. So, and then of course, like, but yet again, here's another like Martone, although very talented and a top prospect. He's also another winger, and the Flyers have a glut of wingers. And now Zegras, who's having a career year, he's settling in on the wing. So it's like, something's going to have to give there. So they're going to have to, even though Briere doesn't always seem comfortable. Briere's done a good job, I think, of adding value. He
Sure.
seems like a shrewd general manager in the sense that he wants to make, he doesn't want to give, he doesn't want to give up. He wants to try to give up as little value as he can. Uh, but at the same time, that's just not always like the key. Sometimes you have to give to get, especially to get like a real difference maker. And
Yeah, he's like a more creative version of Dombrowski. Like Dombrowski, we always talk about like
yeah,
going, like bargain shopping kind of thing. Whereas like Briere does it in a lot more of a creative way, which I'll give him credit.
yeah, that's a really good. I think that's a good comparison. That's pretty true.
Yeah,
Uh, and so yeah, I mean, like that's kind of where they're at, and he's locked in here, Dvorak till he's 35. So I hope, and it's also too like this is a career year for him, and
yep,
it's just like the market, like just the market that's available. I don't think the Flyers were. I think maybe the Flyers also feel that Dvorak has a lot to do with Zegras' like outbreak, like his breakout.
hmm
And I don't know. You mentioned the chicken and the egg thing earlier, right? Like,
yeah,
is it Zegras pulling Dvorak along offensively, or I who knows, right? But I think by the fact the Flyers clearly want to keep them together along
hmm
with Konechny because that's been one of their more better lines this year. So he's going to operate as their top six, one of their top six centermen
yeah,
for the foreseeable future, provided nothing else changes. So that's just kind of where they're at.
yep. That brings us to the game against Anaheim the other night, or last night, I guess it would have been. Um, it's like I said earlier in the show, it's turned into a rivalry all because of one Cutter Gauthier, and of course, he scores early in the game, of course, on an absolute gift by was it Abels who
I think it was it was Obels.
Abels, yeah, flubbed the puck, went right to Gauthier, and wasn't even a great shot, just kind of snuck through Vladar. I don't think he was expecting it. But Trevor Zegras first game against his old team that traded him, did the cell phone celly, the hang up the phone call. It was pretty legendary. But he had, and I'll pull it up on the screen here, an all-time post game interview with one Scott Hartnell, and let's play that now.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Down here with Trevor Zegras. What a wild atmosphere here at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. It's fun for the fans, fun for us talking. How about playing?
It was amazing. I missed last year's game, but I heard all about it. I was fired up to play in this one. The boos were great, but the cheers were even better.
Oh, that's awesome. And a team that might have given up on you, Trevor, and you come in here, you pot two in that first period. How good did that feel?
Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome, buddy. And I got to ask you about the celebration on the first one. You hung up the phone. Who was it to, and what's that all about?
I don't know. But that's about how quick the phone call was before, so I thought it'd be good.
That's great. And one last one for you. Christian Dvorak signs a big ticket, 5 years. He better be buying the next dinner out, right?
He's the best. He's amazing. I'm so happy for him. We love him, and it's a nice deal for both of them.
Nice. Congrats on the big win. Back to you.
All time interview.
Yeah, that's pretty rock star.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. And, what a like, you want to talk about a player that just like relishes, and I think anybody that was familiar with his game prior to the trade, a guy that really relishes being in a big market opportunity to play in front of like a rapid fan base and stuff like that. I mean, what a perfect fit,
Yeah, definitely.
And playing his absolute, like playing his bag off every night and being like a total, like, just leading the team in every offensive category. He's been incredible for them. And, talking about like Hartnell mentioned in the big ticket, I mean, Zegras is next and his ticket's going to be a lot bigger. So
If Dvorak gets over 5 million, I mean, does the number, is it double digit? Like, that's the thing I'm thinking. Is it 9, 10?
yeah, I think so. I think they're going to consider Cat
11,
going up.
11? No, not 10. Around 10. Around 10, I could stomach. I could stomach around 10. Point per game player. He's still, how old is Zegers? 26, 27? Is he younger? He might be younger than I think. 20,
I think he's
24,
25.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I could stomach 10. 10 and a quarter, maybe. I could stomach that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get the deal here. And no, I mean, it's hard to argue, and I think too, letting it kind of play out has been beneficial in terms of like you know, leaving Zegras in a position where he's still going out there every night, and he's still in that like I'm gonna show it, like I'm gonna prove it to the league.
Yeah, he came into the season with something to prove.
Yeah, so kind of leaving that that contract at the end of the line there, kind of dangling, kind of gives him something to play for beyond just helping this team win every night, which he's done a great job of. But and identical goals too. His 2 goals last night.
Yep.
I thought the second one was even better. I thought a great fake shot fake by Cam York, and then dish it off to Zegras there at the circle for the one-timer. It was a really, York did a great job selling shot there. I think he really got kind of froze docile there, and Zegras was able to get the second one. But great celebration, great night.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, man. I think like we're both old enough now where like it used to be like that down there every night.
Sure, yeah.
For Flyers games, and the crowd had such venom. Like they just every shift Cutter was out.
Mm-hmm.
Booze rained down on them. And even like, it was a fun atmosphere, and it reminded me of being a kid, like going down there, seeing them play, and, seeing them play the Rangers and stuff like that, and games really boiling over, bad blood and stuff like that. And
and also just being up in the press box, you could just kind of see the atmosphere. Like you could just see the atmosphere from afar because you're not necessarily a part of it, but you can like kind of see it develop, and it's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, it is. And to see people just like, I left. When I was leaving the building, people were in the parking lot on the way out chanting "F-U Cutter" and all that. Yeah. People running into Xfinity doing it. It was or whatever it's called, Stateside Live now, or whatever the bar is. But people were like rowdy and riled up. And it was a Tuesday night. Like it was kind of
right against the Anaheim Ducks. Like nobody in the city probably even knew it had a team. Like like it's great, all because he decided he didn't want to play here for whatever reason. I still can't believe he hasn't like said it. Even like, how does nobody ask him when he comes back? Well, a year or two has passed since that, and what was your reasoning? Like nothing.
Yeah.
He just refuses to say anything.
Yeah, he won't address that, and I think that also adds to like, we all want to know why,
right?
And
I have my suspicions and ideas, but I still want to hear you say it.
Right. And like it would be nice to get some confirmation on that kind of thing, but
clarity a little bit.
Yeah, some clarity, and but yeah, it was super, super cool. The atmosphere and stuff, and hopefully that comes back. Hopefully it
I hope so.
It comes back, and I think it would be one of the more amazing things would be if Anaheim and the Flyers, their rebuilds kind of reach the fever pitch at the same time, and we got like a cup matchup or something like that.
Yep.
And he'd have to come here.
That'd be electric.
3-4 times.
Yep.
You want to you think the crowd had venom then? Let there be like championship aspirations on the line. That would be something.
Yeah. At that point, Philadelphia, bring the batteries out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. JD drew him.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. I wish nothing but the worst for Cutter. Yeah. And it's kind of embarrassing and sad that I have that much venom towards like a 19-year-old, but I don't care.
Yeah, who cares?
Exactly, right.
He's a millionaire. He's gonna get
I wish
over it.
nothing but the worst for him. So yeah, anything else you have for this game, the Flyers in general, before we get out of here?
No, I know I'll be down there covering Thursday's game. Toronto's in town, and we'll have a story up on firedupsports.com. So, just hang out for that, check out that, and we'll have another roundup, Eagles playoff, all that stuff Monday morning too. But yeah, nothing really else on the Flyers other than they're still finding a way, man.
They're winning games.
They're winning games, and
where are they at right now? The second or the second division spot, or are they third?
I think they were. I don't know how the games played out tonight, but I think they were second last I checked.
They're third right now.
Third.
But the Islanders are above them, 1 point above them for the second spot, but the Flyers have 2 games in hand. So
okay, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, if that were to if they were to keep on that trajectory and, you get into that second spot, you get home ice in that first matchup. So that would be incredible too.
Yep, and the schedule's going to get a lot. I think it's pretty condensed over the next 3 weeks or so because they got a month off after that for the Olympics. So
yeah. So there's only I think February there's 3 games, 2 in the first week of February, and then 3 or 4 games, something like that. But most of the month is off for the Olympics and
which the rink's not even going to be done.
Yeah, the rink situation's crazy. Yeah, if you haven't seen stories about that, check those out.
Yeah, it's nuts.
They're going to play on a small rink. It sounds like a smaller ice surface, even smaller than NHL trial rink. So.
I think it was like 3 to 5 feet smaller. But if you just leave the zones the same size, like the offensive defense zone the same size, and then you just kind of shrink the neutral zone a little bit, I think players said it's really not that big of a difference.
Yeah.
As long as it's a long ways. If it was shorter, width wise, I think it would be a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, from a width, from the width perspective, I think,
But the width's going to be the same though. So
yeah.
But apparently, I think they said the ice is going to be ready, but the stands aren't or something. There's going to have a lot less capacity than they originally thought. Or there was info that came out today, but apparently it's still not in great shape.
That's incredible. On January 7th,
right?
For also all these countries from around the world participating in this, just seems so. That seems crazy, that's going to be like that. But I saw, Flyers, of course, have a couple Olympians, and I saw France announce their team a little while ago. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, former Flyer, he's going to be playing for France.
Is he?
Stuff, yeah.
Well, he's not even. Is he still in the NHL, or did he go play overseas?
I think he's back overseas, but I think he's if he's not 40 already, I think he's I'm pretty sure he's in his 40s now, and getting a chance to play for a medal and stuff's kind of cool at his age,
definitely
come back and play in a tournament like that,
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, well, that'll do it for this week's show. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Phired Up Sports. Check out the website, firedupsports.com. A lot of good work over there. And subscribe on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts and Spotify, YouTube as well. We're on there as well. So go check us out, all those places. We will see everybody next Tuesday. Go Birds. We'll see you then.